has been answered. Every doubt of my mind has been stilled. Every dream I have dreamed has come true now. And all I want to do is your will. Every mountain I
Are the chosen people among us? We have guided this channel to discuss that very subject. All are chosen. But few are ready to accept their inheritance as being God's chosen people. Every person is chosen by God. When you accept your state of being a chosen person, on the deepest level of your being, you choose to relinquish your false ego and to allow your higher self, or the Spirit of God within you, to guide your life. You become a mystic, which means you live on the earth with a direct relationship with God, with the Spirit of God within you. You allow that Spirit to purify your consciousness of judgment, guilt, self-hatred, the need to be separate. It is a choice you make. God is always choosing everyone, but the free will of the individual allows them to choose God or not. Any other understanding of what it means to be a chosen person comes from the human being's false ego and its need to be separate and special in order to mask its own self-hatred. Will Jesus return? This is a question that is not easily answered. It is far more complex than human beings understand. The entity you know as Jesus has evolved far beyond the ability to be contained in a human form. That entity is spiritually present on the earth and accessible to everyone on the planet. When that entity took human form, it was a very small portion of itself that manifested as Jesus, the man. That entity may send another portion of itself to the earth, but this will not occur in this present era. Free will is always at work. Therefore, what will happen in what you call the future can never really be accurately predicted. There are other beings of a similar vibrational frequency who are on the earth now and who plan to come to the earth to be physically present, to teach, to uplift, to help humanity evolve on its spiritual journey to union with God. The being, the entity you know as Jesus, will continue to do this, to teach, to love, to guide, but in spirit. And he is and will be accessible to human beings for a very long time, because he is very connected to all of the souls who are manifesting as human and involved in the reincarnational process on the earth. He is indeed, for all of you, your elder brother.
Question 3. Is there a connection between religion and the hereafter?
Your hereafter has nothing to do with your religion on the earth. It has to do with your consciousness and your beliefs, which are influenced of course, by your religion. Your religious beliefs are part of your beliefs in general. So when you leave your body, you at first experience what you deeply believe you will experience, what you deeply believe you deserve to experience, and what you deeply desire to experience. You are then met by guides who help you and counsel you and open you to a more expanded vision of reality. So your hereafter will be commiserate with the hereafter of other beings who have a similar level of consciousness as yours. So the answer to your question is yes and no. Do you understand?
Yes. Definitely.
And we will add that it is always evolving. That when you leave your body, you continue to evolve, and therefore your environment will evolve with the evolution of your own consciousness. This is true as you observe on the earth plane.
Question 4. Does heaven mirror earth?
It mirrors earth for those of you who have been deeply involved with the earth plane experience. For those of you who have been human for lifetime upon lifetime upon lifetime, your after quote-unquote death environment will very much mirror earth. But in a heightened way, in what you would think of as a heavenly way. All of the beauty of earth is heightened. That's why you call it paradise. The most beautiful parts of being on earth are what you experience in your afterlife environment.
Question 5. Do angels need rest?
There are beings, entities who exist at varying vibrational frequencies and with varying levels of consciousness. A being like the entity you know as Jesus, or an archangel, has a consciousness like unto God, meaning that it embraces all of creation. Therefore, that consciousness is available to all created beings. A portion of that consciousness is, and it is intelligent and active and alive always, existing simultaneously in many different realms and on many different levels. And there are beings who are much closer to the human being with its consciousness, and those beings have a limited focus and need at times to withdraw and be replenished with light, which actually happens for all beings, but in different ways. But for what you call angels, it is not the same as a human being needing to go to sleep for several hours to be replenished. It is, let us say, a need to modulate the energy, or to be in a stillness to receive light from the heart of God, and yet in that stillness the being is still alive and active and conscious, and can still be accessible to other human beings.
Question 6. Can angels communicate in any language?
It is possible, but we cannot do that through this channel at this time, because his consciousness, his vehicle, is not equipped for that. That does not serve his purpose of being a channel and teacher on the earth. But it is certainly possible. Obviously, the angelic intelligence is vast and, we would say, limitless. So all human languages are known, and we work with all human beings, and therefore must know their languages, their customs, their consciousness thoroughly.
Question 7. Can the next disaster be predicted?
Our purpose is to open you to the Spirit of God within you. As that is accomplished, you heal the energies the emotions which create natural disasters. We would say to each of you, work with us. Work with the Spirit of God within you. Through your spiritual path, release your judgments, your belief in guilt, your anger, your rage, your need to be separate and special. Release your inner violence through emotional release in a way that does not harm you or anyone else. As you release your inner violence and your inner anger, you will not meet a reflection of that consciousness and those emotions in your outer life. That is simply what a natural disaster is. We cannot give you a warning about the next natural disaster because all possibilities are open. And as you heal in the way that we are describing, and you bring the light of God onto the earth plane as we described in the opening talk here with your prayer, there doesn't have to be a next natural disaster. Focus on love and the healing of your souls, and you will heal the cause of natural disasters. Praise God, praise God, praise God, and so be it.
There's no pain Jesus can feel. There is no hurt according to the Master's purpose and His holy will. No matter what